I can tell you some wisdom about couple counseling. Couple counseling is exactly that much successful as each of the partners is ready and willing to work on himself. So Katie, do you have any questions concerning couple counseling?
Actually, one topic that we still didn't cover, it's about couple counseling session. I think it will be very interesting for our viewers, for people to know how does it look like, because many people, they are scared to come because they don't know what to expect.
I think fortunately it is changed. When I remember how was it 15 years ago and compare it with today, I think there is an increasing number of younger couples usually who come to counseling without much fear, and also fortunately in a more early stage when they have problems in the couple. But still, most of the couples come when in the very, very, very last moment, because there is something holding them back to go to a counselor. And usually this is connected with prejudice, like when we go to a counselor, we have to admit that we failed as a couple. Or when we go to the counselor, I will be the guilty one because I'm the sick one and he will be judgmental about us. So these are the main reasons why people have big fear of going to the counselor, and also sometimes financial reasons that they don't want to spend. That they don't want to spend a couple of €100, which it usually costs, to fix their relationship. When it comes to the finances, I really think, okay, people always want to know how long do couples have to go to a couple counselor, and of course it's very hard to give a defined number of weeks, but I can say in average I see couples for about 3 months. I see them on a weekly basis, and I see them in different constellations. Sometimes I see both partners alone, and then I see them together, and usually it takes around 3 months, and usually it costs, I don't know, a couple of €100, 400 or 500 euros. I think this is a really small investment if you compare it to this is most probably the person with whom you want to spend the rest of your life with, and you know, just think about how much we pay when we go and fix a car. It's easy, couple of €100, and then there's the next problem. But this is the person with whom you really want to tackle life. So I think it's very good invested money.
Sure, and I think people always can find finances for this kind of things, like for the health. But I also think one thing that's keeping people from coming to a counselor is trust, because they're scared to open up to a stranger.
That's good that you're mentioning it. That would be another reason, is just never have been in a situation where I do have to open up so deeply. And sometimes I'm the first person in a client's life to whom they reveal things which they haven't revealed to their partner, nor to their best friends, nor to their family. And of course that's very understandable, that it takes a lot of courage to come, and it's then my job really to make them feel comfortable and give them the time to feel safe and assure them the confidentiality and everything. Fortunately, younger couples nowadays, they see it as a more reasonable thing to do. They have not so many prejudice. Still, there are many couples who do have, and then they wait until the last moment. And unfortunately, sometimes couples come too late, like because they were already fighting for many years and damaging the partner and themselves and the partnership for many years, and then when they come to me, it's like the ship is almost sunk, you know, and I cannot pull it out anymore. Yeah. Or they do all kinds of things, you know, they go to fortune tellers, they go to the priest. I'm not saying that there are not priests who can maybe give good advices, but the psychological counseling is something very intimidating. I think it is actually surprising that people think that they master relationships themselves, because nobody ever taught us how to handle or cope or tackle relationships in a healthy way. And relationships are very complex in a way, and it's if you have a basic knowledge about how to resolve conflicts, how to enrich the partnership, how to move together, then you are much better prepared, and much more likely you will overcome challenging times.
Yeah. Most of the people, they don't know how to communicate, not only within a couple but just with people. So sure. And
also it's important to know that many very, very drastic fights between two partners are sometimes based off a mere misunderstanding. They read each other wrongly and feel threatened and start to be defensive and harm the other one, and then a vicious circle starts to snowballing. And actually, when I then work with them and I go back to the roots of why they are fighting so much, many times it turns out that they didn't understand what the other one actually wanted to do or to say. And if they come early enough, that's good. If they come too late, it can be that there is so much damage done that I cannot heal it anymore.
But actually, when a couple is like making an appointment with you, so they come to you and they can expect how you start the session.
There are several steps. Of course, when the couple comes in the beginning, you want to make some kind of a problem assessment. You want to know what is going not well in the partnership, and I need to know it from both partners individually. So in this first session, I will ask both of them individually about what they are suffering from, what they would like to change in the relationship, and also what they expect from me as the counselor. And when I know that, I can then also tell them about my offer and what I can do, what I cannot do. And there are things which I simply cannot do, because many times couples come and one partner wants me to change the other one, which is something I cannot offer. I can tell you some wisdom about couple counseling. Couple counseling is exactly that much successful as each of the partners is ready and willing to work on himself. Some couples, they understand that, and then we can really we can make miracles. From the couples coming to me, I can divide them into 3 thirds, and 1/3 are the couples I can help to get back together and to move on, and they usually move on in a better way and in a more deeper understanding, and with having more means how to make the partnership work than they ever were before. That's 1/3. 1/3 I can help to separate, and sometimes, as I said, they come so late and there is so much bloodshed and broken glass that it's not possible anymore to move together in a healthy direction again. And this is really sad, but even so, it is then better they can separate in a still peaceful and respectful way instead of separating in a fighting way, and very, very important when children are involved, because fighting couples, when children are involved, they usually they forget, they have their own focus because they're so busy with the partner and with themselves, and they do not see the damage they do to the children with fighting, and sometimes they involve the children to turn them against the partner, and horrible things which have a very strong damage on the children. And if I have these kind of couples, I'm very, very strict, and I tell them, look, I only work with you when we take the children first. And which sometimes really helps to also, it's sometimes a wake-up call when I show them, look, this is now going on with your children. You know, you are harming them, and even sometimes, you know, the children are very they don't show strong symptoms because they start to internalize the fear, and they don't express it. But a lot of trust can be broken, and but this will be another video about the children. But in short, like I'm happy, and I also see it as a success when I can help a couple to separate, that they can do it in a respectful way and in a non-harmful way towards themselves, but also towards their children. And then the third part of couples, they are people who come to me, and after a while they realize I don't give them what they want. They run away. They don't show up anymore. I work on two levels. One is the investigative level, where I look at the personalities of both of them, and how they were brought up in their childhood, how they were influenced in their families, and how this was having an impact on their ideals and wishes for a partnership. And I look on their love story, how they met and what triggered what triggered each other, and how they fell in love, and how they started this relationship, and then the history of the relationship, when the first problems arrived, and how did they cope with it, and then where they are today. And so this is the investigative level. And the other level is, from the start I give them exercises, and which are helping to improve the communication, which help to diminish the fights, or that conflicts do not turn into fights, and which help to help them to encourage each other and enrich the partnership. So I give these exercises on both, and on the other level I investigate, because I want to bring movement into it from the start. And then you see sometimes that one partner is very reluctant to do the exercises, because he's just because actually his reluctance is a sign for that he actually do not want to improve the relationship. And then when we have a single session, I might confront him. I say, like, look, I see you never do what we agreed about, and I have this idea that maybe you really don't want to be in this relationship, and everything that could help to improve it is something you reject, because it would go against your goals. And that happens.
Were there signs early on in the relationship that they are not compatible, and then it will lead to break up?
Maybe I make a little drawing. Even if they might be actually quite a good compatible couple, if this bag is too big, it cannot be processed anymore. And sometimes